Ladies and gentlemen of the Odyssey production, this is your final call to report for tonight's performance of Carnivore Research.
Hi everybody. Well, that was a slightly different intro, wasn't it? I just felt like doing something a little bit different today. Don't know why, just how I felt. So this is going to be a little different, this midweek video. Basically, I've wanted to sort of compile a list because, you know, even if you're on the carnivore diet or ketogenic or ketovore, any of those, or the lion diet for that matter, which is the hardcore version of everything we've come to understand. But I'm very much aware that even though I've said in the past that, you know, I typed in the word carnivore in the YouTube search bar and I'm like, all this information. And it's a lot. It's a lot to sift through, to navigate that education process, which was where I was sort of like early to mid-December last year. And it was very, very difficult initially to wade through the waters of all of that. So what I want to do with this video is kind of create, if I want to be tacky, I could say your one-stop shop for everything you need to know to get started in terms of where to look to get that information, if I want to be, you know, a bit tacky, I suppose. But that's basically really what I want to do. But I want it to be along the lines of a living documentation, something that's going to change, something that's going to evolve, something that's going to get added to and updated frequently, because as I come across more people, because more people are jumping on the ride, this list will change, you know. But for the moment, I have these are my personal preferences. These are the ones that I have found and I have gone to consistently over the last nearly 3.5 months. And they're not going to be everybody's picks, and that's fine, but they are mine. And I would consider it a good place to start, okay? So I've separated it into 3 sections. We've got doctors, essential information, and journeys to follow. Because those journeys to follow are going to be that inspiration that you need. And there's even something within the essential information that's going to give you that inspiration. Everybody's on this list is probably going to give you some measure of inspiration, but those are the categories that I've actually separated them into. So without much further ado, let's get started, shall we? So we shall start with doctors. First up, you've got Dr. Ken Berry. I do not need to say much about this man. If you know, you know. If you are not sure of anything that you're eating, taking, any medical information that you're looking for, you go to his YouTube channel, you type in what you're looking for in the search bar, and chances are he's got that many videos up, it's going to come up in the feed, okay? His amazing wife, and yes, I'll say it, the better half. Yeah, come for me, Dr. Berry. He'll know I'm right. I'm right. Neisha Berry. She is a nurse, and the intelligence. Separately, their intelligence is just phenomenal. But when these two come together for a Monday Night Live, wow. I'm going to be popping up in one of their lives very, very soon. Looking forward to that. Neisha Berry. She has her own channel, and apart from it being very informative, it is also a very welcome break from the onslaught of all this carnivore information. We all need it. And if you want somebody who does day in the life, get ready with me, talks about book. Her passion for literature is amazing. But she's a mum. She's had her own challenges with medical stuff and mental health. I do strongly suggest that you go and visit her as well, and I've put her in the doctor's section because she's a nurse, very intelligent, very knowledgeable. The woman knows what she's talking about. Next, we have Dr. Anthony Chaffee. Now, he's the plant-free MD. If you want an education on exactly what plants are trying to do to us, yeah, be prepared to be shocked. But the man is right, even about coffee. And I will give it up one day, just not yet. I've given up everything else, not yet. I know there will come a time when I will give up coffee. But, you know, for the most part, for now, I need that. No, I don't, but kind of do, if you know what I mean. But yes, Dr. Anthony Chaffee is definitely a subscribe, straight up. Definitely. It'll open your eyes. Next on the list is Dr. Shawn Baker. Now, this man just outright addresses what's the word I'm looking for here? Inconsistencies in the medical world, food world. If there's an inconsistency, he'll say it. And it's not that he'll necessarily be in your face about it. He won't, but he will just gently say. And the other thing that he does, which I love, he does these videos where he's just going about his business, sitting there eating his steak while there's craziness going on in the screen next to him of people saying the most silliest things you could possibly imagine, or when people are actually speaking a truth. Even a kid, a baby even, like enjoying a piece of bacon. And he's just sitting there with his big chopping board and his big piece of steak, cutting his steak and just eating his steak. I love those videos. But apart from anything else, the man is knowledgeable. He knows what he's talking about. And I would definitely be chucking a subscribe his way as well, because he just knows. He just knows. The next one on my list is the darling Robert Kiltz MD. Now, this man's energy is going to blow you away. His passion for just living is quite remarkable. I think he's great. Straight up. He is so dynamic. He is so expressive and so caring. And is he out there? Oh, yeah, he's like, bam. He's exuberant. He's just enjoying life. But he is a doctor also who knows his stuff. So definitely go and visit that guy without doubt. Next on my list is Paul Saladino. Now, I've only just found this guy, and I found this guy because of one video that came up on my feed. Let's put it this way. If I wasn't a carnivore, right, and I was still eating really crappy food, let's be honest, after this one video, I would never eat at McDonald's again. Ever. I'll put the link to this video. All the links to all these people are going to be in the description box below. But I will put the link to the video that hooked me into this guy. I haven't even started to dive into what this man does yet. I'm looking forward to it because I've seen some of the titles and I'm like, ooh, yeah. But this McDonald's video that he did just blew my mind. I mean, when you get a sachet of salt anywhere, What do you expect to find in that sachet of salt? One ingredient, right? Salt. Go watch the video. Yeah, just go watch it. That's all I'm going to say. Just go watch it. Next, we're going to get into the essential information section. First off the rank is Dave at No Carb Life. Now, this man's quest for getting as much information out there about stories and experiences on keto, ketovore, carnivore, lion, doesn't matter. His quest for pooling all of those stories in one spot is nothing short of unbelievable. I've been on there. I was on there very, very early on. My non-scale victories were quite small, but the mindset was very clear very early on. And he would like to talk to anybody, absolutely anybody. You don't have to have reached your goal to be qualified to go on this channel. You can just be a few weeks in. Doesn't matter. His quest is to get as many of these stories about this out there as possible. And you cannot do anything but support this man in his quest for that. You just have to. So I'm going to ask you, if you've been on this, doesn't matter if you've been on it for 5 minutes or 5 years, if you've got something you want to share with this guy and you want to be on his channel and be interviewed, please reach out to him, okay? Begging you. Next, we've got Mitch, old Guy Carnivore. Now, you are not going to get baton twirling, pretty bows and ribbons and fireworks and making something and dressing it up, and he's going to tell you like it is. Let me tell you why I like this guy. I mean, I love him, period, okay? But sometimes I just I'm in such a mood because of the craziness of things that are in the news, the craziness of some things that people say that are like, what is wrong with you? So, old Guy Carnivore, amongst other things, he does other things, but one of the things that he will do is he'll take any given really stupid thing that's on the news and he'll not only look into the why, but he'll go, what? And just dive right in. He just dives right in to his thoughts process on just stop. These people just need to stop. And when I get in that mood, I go straight for him. And it just, because I get frustrated. I get really, really frustrated when you get people saying the stupidest things. You've got World Health Organization and the American Diabetes Association and the Australian Diabetes Association, for that matter. You know, the Heart Smart. And it's like, please stop. You know, when they're giving you recipes with, you know, sweeteners that have got maltodextrin in them. Stop, please, people. I go there when I need some comfort because I get so frustrated. So, old Guy Carnivore definitely deserves some love, folks, for, you know, for the essential information on how silly people can be. You go right there. He'll sort you out. Next on my list is Laura Spath. Now, let me tell you something about this lady. Yeah, I'm already diving into her videos because where maintaining a weight loss is concerned, this woman has got it down pat. If you want to get ahead of the curve and figure out how you're going to maintain that loss when you get there, she's your girl. Definitely she's your girl. She has maintained this weight since, I think, 2020. And she is nailing it. I have an awful lot of love for her and a lot of inspiration of that hope for the future. And she is also the one who early on was like, what can I drink apart from water? There's a video. She'll tell you. That's how I found bubbly water, which incidentally, I don't drink very often anymore. It's mostly just sparkling mineral water or water. But in the early days, I found her video on what to drink, what not to drink, and yeah, she was my savior. But in terms of maintaining weight loss with this particular lifestyle, yep, she's your huckleberry for sure. Next on my list is Bella from Steak and Butter Gal. She did a video recently that was like so informative. Oh boy, 3 reasons why carnivore works, I believe it was. Bella doesn't just talk. She doesn't just talk the talk. She walks the walk. She backs it up with, I could only hope that in years to come, I will be as knowledgeable as she is about this lifestyle. I could only hope to be like a 10th's worth knowledge, because she can not only tell you why, but she can back it up with research and, you know what, invaluable, you know, and of course, you know what, she's a musician as well. I would love, love, love to talk to her. I mean, yeah, sure, I'd love to talk to her about the carnivore lifestyle. Of course I would. But, you know, she plays the violin. I think she's at Juilliard in New York. My mother sang at the Metropolitan in New York. I would love to talk to her about music. Oh, I think she's fantastic. She's straight. She's to the point. She'll tell it like it is, but she backs it up. She's got the knowledge. So if you're not subscribed to her, get your butt over there. Toot sweet. Next on my list is Ferrigno Freedom. Dante, I believe his name is. Now, I haven't dived into all of his videos, but by all accounts, he's got a lot of videos on there on blood tests and things like that. And he's a lion diet guy. He's like the hardcore version of what I'm doing. His transformation is like, and his zest for living, unbelievable. Because of this, it's just phenomenal. He also has an awful lot of knowledge to impart, and I do strongly suggest that you head on over and chuck him a subscribe, because like I said, he's got some blood test information on there that I do need to start really absorbing properly. And him, in addition to maybe one other, I'm going to be like, okay, this is the way I need to go for blood tests, da-da-da-da-da. So, yeah, Ferrigno Freedom, get yourself over there. Now, Kerry from HomesteadHow. What he is embarking on for the ketovore, carnivore, lion diet community is just sensational. He is in the middle of pulling together all of these people to make a movie called Healing Humanity. Now, I could wax lyrical about this for hours on end, but you need to go over there and hear it from him. If I had thousands of dollars to spare, straight up, I'd be donating. I just don't have the money to spare. But honestly, what he's doing is fantastic. He's already interviewed Dr. Berry. There's countless others that have said, yep, I mean doctors, Yep, I'm down. I'd love to be interviewed for your documentary, your movie. Yep, let's go. Let's go. Honestly, I've got a very, very good feeling about what this documentary movie is going to do for this community. I have a feeling it's going to make everything just go. There is something about it. There's something very positive about how it started, why it started, where it's going, and what it's going to do. I just have a really, really, really good feeling about it. I can't explain it. I'm not gonna. It's my instinct telling me that. But like I said, no one can tell you about this Healing Humanity documentary better than Kerry at HomesteadHow. So please, go and have a listen to what he's got to say. He is also very passionate and has just come off 365 days of living this way. The last one on this essential information list I've put there because there are going to be times when your mind is just, it just is doing you in, okay? So I'm going to tell you to get to Jordan Peterson for that, just that little bit of help, okay? Chances are there's going to be something on there that you are going to get something out of. I have gotten a lot out of his spoken word, his point of view. He's just an amazing man. I could only hope that when I'm on the move again, he's going to be up here in Brisbane. I'll be like, yep, sign me up. I'm going. He's just an amazing man. So if you need just a little bit of something for this mind while you're on this journey, then I highly recommend you go and visit Jordan Peterson. Definitely. Okay? And now we get into the journeys to follow. So straight off the bat, it's going to be Blake from Carnivore in 24. I have got a lot of love for this guy. I love his wife. I love his kids. Doing that live with him last week was just so much fun. And it was so great to be able to talk to him live. You know, just to have kind of like that conversation. It was great. Now that, you know, Blake and we started on the same day. So, you know, we're not sort of like, you know, slightly. We are literally moving in the same direction at the same time together. And he is just such a lovely guy and deserves all the support and love. And he's got like such a beautiful take on how to talk with people. And I say talk with people because, you know, there is always that trap that, you know, people can end up talking at you. And that can be quite bombarding, you know. But Blake doesn't do that. He doesn't do that. He talks with you. It's like he invites you into his home and you're sitting there in his living room and you're having this conversation with him. And he just makes you feel a part of his world. And I adore him. I from the moment I found him, I adore him. Now, this next guy, oh wow, Bill Nott. Now, I haven't looked at all of his videos, not yet, but I have looked at a great deal of them. And where he was mentally, I know what that felt like. And I've got the image of his first video going through my mind. And I know how he felt. Just completely hopeless.
like you had nothing to live for, that you were barely existing, and knowing that if you just kept doing what you were doing, you were just going to be in a grave. Honestly, this man is just amazing. And all he wants is for people to be kind. That's it. That's it. And the changes in him are just amazing. Sorry. I didn't think that I would get this emotional about talking about Bill. Oh, wow. Oh, gosh. He is an amazing guy. You know, if you're not subscribed to him, why? Why? If you want to see a truly remarkable journey, then, oh. And he's gone through some stuff, you know, with this detoxing, the oxalate dumping, and he has just laid it all out on the table, all of it, warts and all of it. And he's done it with such kindness and with such respect and such love. And I should comment more, I should, but I don't want to start gushing at these people's feeds, you know. I've been following Steak and Butter Girl for ages, and I only just, on the last video she put up, you know, she's always saying, comment below, tell me how you are, and I've always remained quiet, but this was the first time that I actually said, hi, here I am. And it's sort of like that with how I feel about commenting on Bill's channel. I've got so much to say, and I just don't want to do a War and Peace novel. You know, I just want him to know how much I adore him, how much I respect him for the journey that he's on, and I can't stop crying. Oh, because all I can see is that first video he did, and remembering how I felt. Oh boy. And now I'm seeing how he is now. It's like short day and night. Honestly, he is doing what I'm trying to do, and that is move mountains, and he's moving them. Oh my God. He is like, I'm coming through. I'm not stopping for you lot. I'm coming through. And he is just grabbing life by the hands and just going, this is mine, and I'm going to have it. I am so proud of him. I think he's lost something like 200 pounds in about, if I'm right, about 200 pounds in like 7 months. There you go. There's the proof right there. I don't need to say anything else. But if you're not subscribed to Bill Nott, why? Just why? Please, get over there. Right. Now that I have kind of composed myself, we shall continue. Limitless Lindy. Oh, sweetheart. You've moved some mountains of your own too, haven't you, darling? Yeah, you want to see what is possible. If you want to see what's possible, get yourself over to Limitless Lindy. She's got now what I can actually feel I'm going to have, and that's a life. Yeah, a life. That's what she's doing. I love her. I think she's fantastic. If you want to see what is really possible on this lifestyle, get yourself over there. Just subscribe and start watching her videos, because you will not regret it. You won't. The next one was the one that actually made me go, okay then, right, fine, that's it. Carnivore it is. Amanda at Carnivourous Me.
the things that she's overcome. Another who is going to show you what is possible when you just let go and go on this carnivore journey. She went from using a walker, not being able to get to the end of the driveway to pick up the mail, to hiking. Don't believe me? Get over to her channel. She's got plenty of videos of her showing her walking the dogs, hiking with her husband, and just living. She was the one that made me go, all right then, well, carnivore it is. Let's just jump right in. She was the one that did that for me. It was her. Amanda, if you're watching this, thank you, my darling. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank you a million times. I love you. Next on my little wee listy of journeys to follow, Larry and Cassie at Carnivore Quest. Now, to see these two on this journey is really something, because you get two for the price of one. You've got two journeys in one channel. And honestly, I very, very vividly picture me walking up on their front doorstep and going, hi, I'm here, and just giving those guys a hug. I just want to hug them, like hard, really hug them. Cassie does some beautiful cooking videos. Larry does too, for that matter. His bone broth? Hells yeah. One of the things that I love, because it plays to my sense of humor, Larry's video editing of funny things that get little clips of funny things and funny sayings and stuff. Oh my God. Cracks me up. Absolutely cracks me up. He's got a real talent for slotting in those little funny things. And, you know, I just love the team. I love the teamwork with those two. How they talk with each other when they're both on camera. How they talk about their obstacles. How they talk about their victories. And I mean, you know, like one of the most recent ones that Cassie's put up is, and it, you know, I have been thinking about the coffee thing. I have. Am I ready to give it up yet? Not yet. But she's recently given up coffee and dairy for like about a month. And so she's reported on that and how she's feeling as a result. And that is, it's in my head, because she said, don't look at it as giving it up forever. Try it for 30 days. Just do it for 30 days and see what happens. So that's where my mindset is, that whenever I do give up this, I'll try it for 30 days. And I'll do it Cassie style. Yep. So I love her. I think she's great. I love Larry. I think he's fantastic. He's got a sense of humor. I like a sense of humor. I really, really do. Love those two guys. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Now, last on my list is Carnivore Kipp. Now, attention must be paid. I don't often talk about religion, if at all, on my channel. We all have our belief systems. I don't deny anybody their belief systems, but if you are looking for just that little bit of extra inspiration and passion for the man upstairs, as I lovingly call him, he's your guy. Carnivore Kipp is your guy. His passion for Jesus, God, it's out there. It is out there. He's not going to mince words about how he feels about Jesus and God. But if that's what you really need from somebody who is on this carnivore journey, then he's going to be your guide. Now, can you imagine, all right, bear with me here, bear with me. You've got somebody whose faith is deeply rooted in Christian values, all right? Jesus, God. So let's just take Genesis and how many days it took God to create the heavens and the earth. Can you, for a second, just imagine what it might be like for somebody who has that very strong faith in our Lord Jesus when they're on a diet that is getting constantly referred to as the proper human diet, caveman? Think about it. I'm just going to let that sink in. Can you imagine how it would have to be confronting? There's just no other way to say it. It would have to be very confronting to hear people talking about the proper human diet and liking it to the sort of diet that cavemen had, and how that clashes quite considerably with your religious belief system. I've got a lot of love for him for that. Because that would be hard. That would be hard. So that's what I mean by attention must be paid. Because here he is, on this journey, proper human diet, caveman, and all of that. And he is a very strong, God-fearing man with a very strong religious belief, navigating that thought process. It would be hard. Kipp, I love you. Don't change. You keep believing. And you have my support. Now, there's one final video. If you've been counting, there's one more. 20. Now, if you are using this video to find where you should go for this carnivore information, ketovore, keto, lion diet, and if you are somebody who's doing that research that I did in mid to early December last year, and you're still not quite convinced, then I'm going to point you in the direction of one little lady, and specifically one video. Her name is Mikalia Peterson. And the video is the TEDx talk that she did. Now, let's be clear about the carnivore diet now. Let's just be clear. It is a lifestyle. It is not a diet. And it's something that we use to heal our bodies, which happens to have the side effects of losing weight and inches. Great side effects, just saying. But ultimately, it is an elimination diet. I'm going to be honest with you, all right? I'm also going to be honest and say, don't be falling for all those things that you see on Facebook, for tablets that are going to increase your core temperature so that you can burn calories better, or increase your metabolism, and, you know, these herbs and things are going to help you to lose weight. Knock it off. Just stop. Please. They are all tailored to people who are looking for a quick fix. Yeah, I was one of them. But knock it off. There is no quick fix. As I've said, We are all responsible for the food we put in our gobs. And there is no quick fix for something that took years to create. So when you think of the carnivore diet or the lion diet and what it does for our bodies, if everything that these 19 people that for links, if that isn't enough, that's fine. If this one TEDx talk from Mikalia Peterson won't convince you to heal your body with the carnivore or lion diet, sort of wonder if anything will, because this is a pretty strong argument. It's a pretty strong argument. So, in closing, all the links to every channel and any particular video that I've referenced is going to be in the description box below. That's the first thing. Second of all, I'm hoping to update this list in about 3 months. There'll probably be another video. Shoot off the names of the people that are already on the list, but I will go into detail of the ones that have been added to the list. And that's what I plan to do at least every 3 months, because more and more people are becoming more aware of this lifestyle and what it can do for your body. So that means the list is going to get bigger, right? There we go. So I hope that you enjoyed this little presentation, and I hope that it helps you to navigate all the information that is out there and sort of narrow the lanes a little bit so that you can concentrate on the information that you need to get in order to get started. Okay? I hope it helps. And on that note, I will say, please be kind to those around you. Don't take any crap. Protect your peace. And be kind to yourself.